Hi everybody, welcome along to my latest video. Today we're going to look at the simple act of climbing stairs, which can be used as a really good performing exercise if done correctly, particularly of those of us with MS. Stair climbing can be extremely challenging. Now, a couple of reasons. Primarily for me, for my particular situation, it involves hip flexor movement. Obviously, raising your leg to go into the next step can be very challenging if your hip flexors aren't or have been affected by multiple sclerosis. So I'm just going to go up a couple of treads here. What we need to remember when we're climbing stairs is that we plant our foot nice and firmly, heel on the step, because we're going to actually be driving through the heel to develop power into the quads and the glutes that will push us up the steps. So the heel's nicely planted on the step there. I use a handrail for balance and we just push up. I know it's very simple and we do it with our eyes closed, but the technique should be strictly followed, because if you're using it for exercise, doing it incorrectly can damage knees. For example, if you're going up on your toes and putting your knee a long way forward of your toes there as I attempt to push, most of the work is then now being done by my calves, and because I've pushed my knee forward, now a lot of strain is going through the knee joint as the quadriceps contract to try and push me up the step. A lot of forces that work through the knee, so we can develop knee pain. So it's really important to try and have your foot firmly planted, keep the hip, knee, foot in alignment. A lot of times with MS, people, their gluteus muscles weaken and the knee dips in. The iliotibial band, or ITB as it's known, then picks up the slack. So we want to avoid that. So try and focus on your tracking, hip, knee, and foot all in line every time, and push through your heels as you ascend. Push through your heel. Not up on my toes like that. Heels down, toes are right at the front of the step there, and we drive through the heel. When your strength starts building up, you can go for 2 steps. Okay, here we've same technique. Pelvis, knee, and ankle joint, all in line. We want to avoid this dipping in. So I use the handrail as well and drive through my heel to lift myself up. Again, left leg, same deal. Hip, knee, ankle, in line, driving through that heel to push myself up. One more time, through the heel. Okay, and descent is exactly the same. Make sure that alignment is all perfect, so we're not dipping in like this. And take your time, use the handrail, that's what it's there for, and really focus on your technique and form, making sure each foot is planted before moving on to the next one. If you want to add more resistance, we all have different levels of disability and strength. Add yourself a little hand weight. This is 5 kilos, which is about 2 pounds. I beg your pardon. I'll try that again. It's about 11 pounds, 5 kilos, but just hold on to it like a bag. Now I weigh 5 kilos more than I did for my last set. Same deal. Push through that heel. We want to avoid that hip collapsing and the knee adducting into the center line of the body. So drive through there. Use the quadricep muscles. Drive through, and the gluteus muscles. Okay. Coming down, keep the weight, but again, hold on to the handrail. Now, what I'm going to do is add the Hypershell for stair climbing, which is where it really excels. Here's the Hypershell sitting here waiting for me. So we're just going to get kitted up here very quick. Click and click. It's the waistband on. Put the leg straps on. Click. Nice and firm. I'll just extend those out. Should have done that. Second leg strap clipped in eventually. There we are. And we need to switch the unit on. There. I'm sorry, that was user error there. Okay, we've got 4 green lights on there. I don't know if you can see, that's 4 bars in eco mode. And this is where the Hypershell really comes into its own. It's now lifting my legs as I walk up these stairs, which is fantastic. Makes things a lot easier. Keeps your knees, ankles and hips tracking nice and true. Helps lift through the hip flexors, lift each leg up to the stair. Doesn't really assist in the push. You've still got to do that yourself. I might go into hyper mode now. Hyper mode, there we go. 3 bars hyper mode. On the descent, there's not really a lot of assist. A little bit of guidance for the legs, but now we're going to ascend in hyper mode, which is the strongest mode for the Hypershell. Turn around, and here we go. Big step 1. So I'm doing double steps, driving through that heel. Wow, the Hypershell really helps me with my hip flexors. Going up 2 steps at a time, and then the reverse coming down. So stair climbing is a fantastic exercise, for cardio. You can hear I'm starting to puff a little bit already. And B, for leg and gluteus strength. And works the hip flexors nicely as well. So use stair climbing, use a little weight if you need to. But most of us have access to stairs at some area, either in find a tall building with a stairwell, or if you have stairs at home, you've got a gym. You've got your own built-in gym at home. So yeah, by all means, see what you can do, see how you go. Keep that strict form of knee, ankle, and hip joint in line. It's very important. Drive through the heels, and you'll be climbing stairs like a mountain goat. Take care, everyone. Thank you.